When it comes to the television show that I'm about to talk about, questions and theories are part of the game. Since the very first episode, viewers have been scratching their heads to who Pit Girl is and who is sitting around that cannibalistic fire. But the question we're going to ask today is a little different. What if their destiny was doomed before they even stepped foot on the plane? This is the Yellowjackets plane crash theory. Now, it goes without saying that there will be spoilers in this video, so unless you're all caught up, it's time that you made a sacrifice to the wilderness by hitting the like button and adding this to your watch later playlist. Okay, rewind time. Let's take our minds back to Season 1, Episode 1 of Yellowjackets. Here I go, here I go, here I go again, girls, what's my weakness? Lottie's dad. What if I told you that there was a theory that Lottie's father, Mr. Matthews, was behind the plane crash of the Yellowjackets soccer team? In the first season, we get a glimpse into the life of the team before the crash, and we learn that Lottie Matthews comes from a background of wealth and success. She also tackles severe mental health issues, and her parents have very strong views about it. Lottie's mother and father had differing views on how her mental health should be handled, but it's safe to say Lottie wasn't given the love and care she required while growing up. On the day before Nationals, Lottie is brought her medication by the housemaid while sat eating breakfast by herself. This is to make us viewers realise the severity of Lottie's struggles and lack of support system. The medicine she takes is loxapine. While this medication does not exist in real life, it is very likely based off of loxapine, which is a medication that is commonly used to treat symptoms of schizophrenia. With something as intense as schizophrenia, it's almost certain that Lottie should have had a better support system instead of her parents being regularly absent. Okay, Chapter 2 in Lottie's mom and dad going for the Worst Parents of the Year award takes place in Season 2, Episode 1, when we see a glimpse of some of the girls being rescued from the wilderness. We cut to Lottie sat in between her parents in a psychiatric ward where she appears completely detached from reality. Her parents then decide to ship her off to Switzerland where she would undergo electroconvulsive therapy. Many fans of the show viewed this as cold and harsh and found it to be a difficult watch, seeing Lottie struggle with so much while being alone throughout her recovery. Once again, this cements the Matthews family as incredibly wealthy and points in the direction of them not showing much care for Lottie. I know if I was a father, there is no way I would ship my kid off to another country and be alone during something like that, especially after their time in the wilderness, and I'm almost certain most of you guys would feel the same. Now it's time to talk about the plane. In Season 1, Episode 1, we discover that Lottie's dad actually paid for the plane that took the girls to Nationals, and here is the evidence.
I can't believe your dad paid for a private plane.
That's pretty much his only form of parenting.
Flash forward to Season 3, Episode 5, and it's the episode after the death of Lottie Matthews. Misty, Shauna, and Walter are all in Citizen Detective mode.
There's a new sheriff citizen in town.
It's Citizen Detective, idiot.
As they go to infiltrate Lottie's dad's penthouse, where we find out he is struggling with dementia. Misty, fishing for information about Lottie's death, says, "I thought I saw her in the lobby with someone." To which Mr. Matthews replies, "Yeah, probably one of those cult nutsos." Misty then suggests maybe one of those nutsos pushed her down the stairs. And here is where things get juicy. Mr. Matthews replies, No, this was an accident, plain and simple. And Artie, down at the station, knows that his foundation won't see a dime if he says otherwise. The conversation is then abruptly ended after Walter asks Mr. Matthews a question from another room, stopping us from hearing any more crucial information. Let that sink in. Lottie's dad was quick to shut down anything regarding foul play and insinuated that the police wouldn't receive any money if they even entertained that idea. That is the behaviour of a man trying to hide something. Once again, I speak to all parents out there and ask myself, if I was a parent, would you do that if you had a kid who just passed away? While he is dealing with dementia, he really seemed more bothered about controlling the police and the investigation than the actual death of his own daughter. Maybe it's possible that he's not a stranger to a shady arrangement. Perhaps an arrangement was made 30 years ago, when the Yellowjackets boarded the plane to Nationals that he paid for. If you saw my last video, the Yellowjackets mining theory, then you'll know that we touched on black market mining operations. Maybe Lottie's father was involved in that. With a show like Yellowjackets, surprises and twists are all a part of the game, and Lottie's father has shown disdain and recklessness when it comes to his daughter. While we may not be able to pinpoint the reason just yet, it certainly seems fishy that everything we've seen of Mr. Matthews has been pretty negative and has raised many eyebrows. However, it is important to look at all sides of things. One thing Yellowjackets does incredibly well is tightrope walking on the line of supernatural versus reality. They've been dancing on this line for 3 seasons now without actually choosing one side or the other. You could take that theory and run with it, or you could look at the fact that this is a man with dementia. Perhaps what he said to Misty wasn't even true, and it was actually just manufactured in his head. That's another day of the writers dancing along that line and making us question everything in front of us. Well, now you have all of that information, let me know your conclusion in the comment section below. Do you think Lottie's dad had something to do with this? Do you think that Lottie's dad had nothing to do with this? Or can you find the final puzzle pieces to complete this theory? When we find out more about Lottie's death, I'm sure more answers will surface and we'll be close to finding out if Lottie's dad was in fact behind the plane crash of the Yellowjackets soccer team or had some involvement in it. I want to thank you all so much for your incredible support over the past week. My channel has rocketed up from just over 100 subscribers to nearly 400, and it means the freaking world to me. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, as I do have a goal of 1,000 subscribers, and let me know what kind of videos you want to see next. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Yellowjackets is truly an amazing show, and being a fan means that I get to explore all the wackiest and zany theories that might just turn out to be true. But until then, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. But until next time, I've been Tom. You've been super. Good night.